drives to the middle, puts it up and in. Corner to Ehlo. On the right wing, Price for three. Got it! Price down the floor, give to Nance, drive, slam, foul. Back to Ehlo, the three in the air. It's good! He won it! Yes, Virginia! There is a Santa Claus, and he comes from Lubbock, Texas.
Guys, been a long time. Been quite a time since I've seen all you guys. I know probably you all haven't seen each other in quite a long time. It's good to see all of you. Good to be back with you. We'll spend a little time today just talking about the past and the golden days, the golden days for us because we get older. But if you go back and think about it, it all kind of started in 1986. And I know for me and Mark, coming out of Georgia Tech, I was in North Carolina. When you think about 1986 and that draft, what were your thoughts when you finally worked your way around of realizing you were coming to Cleveland?
Well, after I was getting over being mad that dudes were drafted ahead of me on that draft, I was a twin. Scott Skiles, one of them. But I really believe that draft class doesn't get the credit it's due. That was amazing. You go down a lot of teams. First of all, you had Hot Rod sitting here, who they got in the year before who couldn't play. So he was going to be a rookie. Then they get you at number 1, Ron at number 9. I was 25, and Johnny Newman, we got
that's right.
who ended up having a long NBA career. That was just a fantastic draft. If you're talking about a franchise starting over, which they were, bringing Coach Lenny in and Wayne doing a good job of revamping the team. You couldn't have done a better job than that draft.
Yeah. Coach, so 1986, how did you end up? I remember I got drafted that day, and I'm talking to David Stern, and we're talking, and he's like, well, not sure you have a GM and a coach yet in place, but you're going to Cleveland. And I was like, where's Cleveland? But so how did you end up making your way to Cleveland?
Well, I was available, and I wouldn't re-sign with the Sonics at that time. And so I got a call, and Wayne wanted to talk to me, and I got permission from the Sonics to talk to them. So when I went out to talk, I said, well, we can't agree to nothing until the draft is over, because I had promised Seattle that I'd help them through the draft. But I knew who Cleveland was going to draft. I knew you were going to be number 1. I knew Ron. I knew Mark they were thinking about Mark because they had the first pick in the second round. And I said, well, you got to take him. How could you pass him up? I don't even know how he went to the second round, So we talked. And then once the draft was completed, they flew me in for an interview. And it was the funniest interview I've had because I tell the guys about it. But when we were talking, we had Gordon Gunn was there, who was the owner, Wayne Embry, the GM. They had a guy named Thaxter Trafton, who was one of Gordon's right-hand man, and another guy. And as we were sitting there talking, they said to me, well, we want you to take a test. And right. And I laughed, and I said, no. I said, I'm the one that gives the test. And Gordon says, I want him. So, but I had a peep at what players we were going to have. And I had seen you guys play, so I knew, at least I felt I knew what the talent was going to be. And I said, we got a chance to change this because Cleveland at that time was known as the Cavaliers. Yeah. And I said, well, no, we're going to change that.
Yeah. It was interesting first few years trying to come in and change the culture. And we worked really hard and had some characters throughout those first few years that we had to work through. And we started playing better. And then you guys came along. Craig, how did you end up coming to the Cavs? What was your transition to you?
Well, I played 3 years in Houston already, then was released by them at training camp, and then spent 2 months not knowing what was going to happen, but That guy right there got sick with an appendicitis, and we needed a 10-day contract guy, and that was me. So I came in on a 10-day contract in January, and things kind of fell in place then. And I owe you a big appreciation because after the first practice, me and you were the last ones in the locker room, and I didn't know how I was going to get back to the Holiday Inn at Richfield. So you gave me a ride back to the Holiday Inn. I knew right then I was going to fit in well with this team because y'all were all just like you.
Hey, awesome.
But let me tell you something. Also, he played for a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I knew all about him.
Sure,
Okay,
sure,
that
sure.
was George Raveling.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and I used to watch them. You know, and I like to tell everyone this. I weaned George. Okay, we played against each other in college.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
George went to Villanova. I was at Providence, and
yeah.
we became good friends because we knew a lot of the same people. So I knew that Craig was a hell of a defensive player and would fit in. He was unselfish and came ready to play. And that was the MO on all you guys was your ability to compete and hear and listen and I don't know if we have that today.
No, it's a different deal today. And we were a young basketball team developing, and we needed some veteran leadership on the basketball team. And I think that's where this guy came in. And Larry, you came over with a trade. Tell us a little bit about that, how that all went down, and your first experience with the team.
First of all, it was a beautiful sunny day in Phoenix. That's the key thing. That beautiful sunny day.
Yeah.
I rolled in and got tape, put my uniform on, and get ready to walk out on the court for my warm up. And coach called me in and said, "We just trade you to Cleveland."
Just like that.
Just like that. I had no warning, whatever.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I was so hurt. I ran back in the locker room, changed clothes, and I was heading home. And then Briggs came over that night, and I was on the bus with you guys the next morning, and started getting to meet everybody. And first of all, I guess you guys remember we were losing games at first, and I was a head case about to jump off the building, about to kill myself. But then coach changed the lineup a little bit, and it came around, and just the best team I've ever been on. Best people, best coach, best executing offense. I mean, we just loved each other. We was always together, and obviously I still live here, but quite often I talk about coach and our team all the time to people that some of these guys in the league now need to just watch film how we played because they can learn a lot of good basketball because we played a lot of good basketball.
The blueprint for this team was about character, and that was probably what I enjoyed the most about being on this team. Our locker room was like this. I know our wives would get mad at us after games, because we weren't coming out of the showers until like 11.
Yeah.
We were just talking like women. Yeah.
You weren't necessarily in the shower.
No, you're right.